Bitcoin's up, crypto's up, shorters are in disbelief. And there has been a lot of discourse around Jane Street, Sam Bankman-Fried, and really what's just the entire state of crypto. It's a ghetto mess. It's always been, but that's what makes it super, super fun. And we're going to cover a lot of what's happening, a lot of the political stuff, especially when it comes to crypto market structure. We got some OCC stuff, which is not sexy, but it's important because it's all stablecoin related. And again, this all translates to retail. And I am going to be dropping my interview with Charles. We got that recorded. I put a clip out on X. If you like that, you're going to like the rest of it. Probably one of my favorite people that I've interviewed outside of John McAfee, RIP, and his wife, Janice. That was an epic conversation. But I don't do a lot of crypto interviews anymore. I used to. I've interviewed hundreds of people. I just don't really anymore because it's cool that people are building dope stuff. But at the end of the day, I want things raw. I want raw. I want emotion. I want to get what you really think about it. I don't want the BS PR. I don't. And I understand people have to do that because crypto is essentially getting absorbed into traditional finance. But at the same time, we have to keep it fun. We have to keep it sexy. We have to keep it real. AI is taking over and that sucks. That's not fun. And we got to keep it human. But anyways, we're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Vitalik dumping Ethereum and everyone throwing a damn fit about it, even though he's incredibly transparent. He's like, hey, I'm going to sell Ethereum. And the crazy thing is Ethereum is up at $2,000, right? So we may have found the local bottom with Bitcoin. Whether we hit 55,000, get a swing wick down below, whatever, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me because I'm here long term. People that have been here long term don't really care. The people that are super, super upset don't understand how investing works. They don't understand how markets work. Market doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about anybody, okay? It cares about everything else. And there's always people that are smarter, have more capital than you, have more influence over the market. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a slam. It is what it is. It's the reality of the situation. And the sooner that you detach yourself from that and you just focus on making money ethically and legally, or using Bitcoin as a silent protest, whatever that is, that's when things will turn around for you. And I used to trade a lot, do the day trading stuff, the scalping, all kinds of stuff. And you know what? I just have done so much better, just kind of chilling. If I see a trade I want to take, I'll do it. But for the most part, and again, if you guys, anyways, welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every day. I'm Wendy O, and we are live on YouTube, Rumble finally, because it's working, and X. So let me give a shout out to my channel members, especially the ones on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. To Mr. Mike, to Mr. Dale, to Mr. R, to Queen. Thank you so much to gorgeous Alexandra for the $10 super chat. Alexandria, Mr. Bubba, Miss Julie, Sparkwater, Mr. Legend. Who else is here? Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. My power is super low today. I'm very tired today. I'm just, and the week's not over. We still have tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get into it. And yeah, there's insiders. There's insiders everywhere, except it's just getting exposed because it's crypto. So let's go ahead and take a look over here. So this comes from this person's account. They're basically talking about zero hedge and different things that happen. So let's kind of go through and talk about what's happening with Jane Street. And I'm going to give you guys a piece of my mind over here, okay? I don't think, I think that Jane Street, they screwed up, they did really terrible things, but I don't think that was the entire reason why we're in a bear market. I don't. I think that I think Bitcoin still operates on a 4-year cycle. Crypto still operates on a 4-year cycle, and it is what it is. So I think that that's kind of what's happening with that. So anyways, let's keep it moving over here. But this is what he said. We got some funny stuff too, and some Elizabeth Warren stuff. But basically, Zero Hedge claims Jane Street caused the 2022 crypto winter by depegging UST and rescuing it while it was extracting value. We were due for a bear market anyways. Some people might argue and say super cycle, but we were kind of due for a bear market anyways. And we're also in a bear market right now, if you pay attention to what the charts are looking like. Now, this account over here, Gupta, says that the lawsuit tells a little bit more complex story, not just Jane Street was acting alone. Terraform intern Bryce Pratt, who worked at Jane Street, ran a private chat with Terraform staff sharing non-public liquidity info. On May 7th of 2022, Terra withdrew 150 million UST, which was their stablecoin. Jane Street then pulled 850 million USD within 10 minutes. 235 million in total was drained before others knew. UST's peg broke that night. 6 days later, 40 billion gone. Jane Street allegedly offered to buy Luna and Bitcoin while knowing the collapse it helped create. The insider info flowed between the firms. And the question is, when does market making cross into market manipulation? Side note over here, Jane Street posted $24 billion in trading revenue in 2025, and that is more than Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And that's a little bit alarming, primarily because if it's more than JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, and these guys are operating, especially back then when our market cap was so much smaller, that's a little bit worrisome, right? But this is the thing. Traditional finance always has their grubby little hands in everything, and they rarely get in trouble. They get in trouble when there's a complete collapse. Other than that, our taxpayer dollars just keep going to help fund these scumbags. That's really what it is. And again, traditional finance has played an important role in American culture and American economics, but at the same time, they've got way too much power. That's why I talk about capitalism. I love capitalism. I don't like the corporate capitalism. I don't like the predatory capitalism. And that's exactly what that is. And that's why it's problematic, is because they're like skirting on the law so closely to where it just gets to be like, and whoever has the most money is going to win, which is why I'm completely against the accredited investor law. I think it's predatory and I think it's stupid. You should be allowed to do things based on your ability to do it. But what do I know? I'm a bimbo on the internet. And along with that, there's more. Let's talk about market making. So this is from Mr. Nate G. He talks about large market makers like Jane Street. He says they've always had the ability to manipulate the price of many different securities and assets, obviously illegal if done intentionally. It isn't some new Bitcoin or crypto specific story. And I agree with him. This continues to happen in traditional finance and it happens everywhere. All right. It just is what it is. And with that being said, like these people are going to do what they're going to do. It happens all the time. All the time. But market making is how these companies stay afloat. Well, is how markets work. You have to have that. Now over here, this is from Digital Asset Investor, but it's talking about Gary meeting with FTX. And that's a thing that we talk about a little bit in crypto, but we need to really discuss a little bit more. Okay. The reason why is because previous administration, Gary Gensler was in charge and he led all of those unjust attacks, especially against your guys' favorite company, Ripple. So all the people that are like, we should have had the other administration, F Trump, blah, blah, blah. Trump has done a lot of stupid stuff when it comes to crypto. Don't like his meme coins, don't like the family business. I think those should have waited. But at the same time, we are positioned very well, better than we would have before. And it's about picking the lesser of the two evils. Now, with that being said, Gary Gensler knew about all this stuff, okay? They knew about it, but they didn't do anything. They just put Sam in jail, protected his parents and whatnot. The whole situation reeks to me, absolutely reeks. And it's just crazy that and this just goes to prove your network is your net wealth is your network, something like that. I forget how that goes. You guys know what I mean. Shout out to Based All Might for joining the O Army. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for the $10 super chat. This one's from Target, actually. And I had some banana this morning. I actually have a bunch of bananas and I'm probably going to eat all of them. I don't know why. And they're the ones, when the bananas aren't really ripe yet, but they're like, that's just the way I like them. I don't know. Anyways, back to the thing over here. But the fact that Gary Gensler is able to get away with all this BS is disgusting. Like, it's just a massive circle jerk. It is a massive circle jerk, and it's just such a slap in the face for the American people. It really is, because we are extorted for our taxpayer dollars. We are extorted. Our taxpayer dollars go to fund these dummies, and they get to do what they want to do and protect their own people, while middle class struggles, while we are barely able to make ends meet. A lot of people in America are, and things are going to continue to get worse because AI is not even being checked, which is why I continue to push you guys to learn about AI and how you can improve your quality of life. Now, as far as this goes, whatnot. Now, I had posted this in response to Liz Warren, because she says SBF, the fraudster who stole at least $8 billion from customers using his crypto exchange, My sister's a silly goose over there. The fraudster stole his $8 billion from his crypto exchange that just endorsed the Clarity Act, because this comes from Sam's post about the Clarity Act over here, because he's like, yeah, this is really good, blah, 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 blah. Shout out to Eric Voorhees. This is a huge milestone because he's trying to get pardoned. Okay, he is trying to get pardoned, and I get it. I respect the grift, but should he be pardoned? Probably not. But anyways, this is Miss Warren over here. So I posted this. I was like, dude, shut up. And I just used Grok, X's AI. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube. It's being weird. I don't think it's pushing things out properly. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Hold on, let me change this over here. Hold on. I'm going to go into this. Just give me a second. I got to change it. We'll see if that works. Okay, we'll see. Anyways, okay, so let's get into this. I'm apologizing over here. So Liz Warner's like calling him a scammer, blah, 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 blah. But really, when you look at it, and you could just Google this, it's very, very easy to do so. But it just kind of shows the relationship. She had a relationship with Sam Bankman-Fried's parents, Joseph and Barbara. Both Stanford law professors. Interesting. And it centers on professional and political ties with Democratic circles, particularly around tax policy and campaign support. Interesting. Primary document connection is with Sam's dad. In 2016, he assisted her in developing and drafting tax filing specific act. And again, that's what his dad did. They were both professors, and they really kind of helped. They helped him with a lot of things. So for him to come out and say he's innocent and blah, 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 I think he's innocent to an extent. I think his parents took advantage of him, but at the same time, he still did bad stuff. Fraud is never legal, like never legal in any way, shape, or form. So for her to come out and say this, like, and this is what pisses me off. She is caught in so many different lies, and she's part of the anti-crypto army. And the reason why she's part of the anti-crypto army is because it impacts her bottom line. She doesn't care about the people. Not only does she get her salary, but she gets all of these speaking and all these other engagements to increase that salary, because the banks don't want crypto to thrive. The banks are lazy. They're lazy scumbags. Instead of being like, you know what, this is a really great opportunity. Like, we can make more money. We can give, we can help people out a little bit. They want to keep every single penny for themselves. That's why they don't want the yield on stablecoin. And when I sat down with Charles H. and we kind of talked about things, he basically said that people that are advocating, they're not advocating for each other, they're advocating for themselves. I feel like I saw something about Coinbase that they stand to make like billions of dollars. I think it was around $7 billion. This is allegedly, don't quote me on this, but off of stablecoins. And that impacts our business. Nobody, and this is the thing, all the people in Washington right now, they are not advocating for retail. They don't want the removal of the accredited investor. Everyone's like, we need to keep retail safe. No, we don't need to keep retail safe. Like, you specifically put things out that are dangerous to society, but now you want to keep retail safe? If you want to keep retail safe, remove what's the point of lottery tickets? It seems to be like one big scam. Move those out of the hood and put those in the really nice neighborhoods, please. You don't see those there. That's why. The amount of liquor stores we have in the hood is by design, but you won't see them. You will not see them in nice neighborhoods. Very, very few and far in between. Why? Because they want to give to the really, 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 really poor people to continue to extract from them. So these people don't care about you. They're laughing in our faces. That's exactly what they're doing. So I thought that was a little bit of a funny thing. But shout out to Senator Loomis. And this is in regards to SBF. I don't know why it says unavailable. But anyways, someone's looking for a pardon and doesn't realize the Clarity Act would have you locked up for much longer than 25 years. My legislation could be more different than your bill you tried to buy from Congress over my objection in 2022. We do not need nor want your support. And remember, I was telling you guys about that little bill that he was trying to push through. He was working on that bill, I believe, with Chuck Schumer. Let's go ahead and fact check with AI over there. So, It doesn't verify Schumer, but I remember that it was Schumer. But basically, what he wanted, the bill that he proposed, it wasn't even his damn bill. It was his parents' bill, or some people are helping with it. But the point of this is that they were going to make FTX like the end all be all for like the end all be all for everything, and make it the one-stop shop. And that's exactly what Coinbase is going to be. That's exactly what Coinbase is going to be, which is is what it is. Armstrong knows how to play the political side, knows how to play it all. Okay. He doesn't have weird parents that are managing things. But the point is that Sam tried to tried to integrate crypto law, but didn't end up going through because he got in trouble and now he's disgraced and whatnot. So it's just like, just shut the hell up. All these people need to shut the hell up. Okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. Make sure to smash like and share this because for some reason it's not getting pushed out to YouTube. Now, allegedly, Axiom and their people, they were insider trading. Now, one of this guy that's wearing a badge is like insider trading. And this is the thing. It's very, very simple. Okay. Insider trading is illegal. If you have information and you use it to profit, it is illegal. Don't be like Nancy Pelosi, except they continue to get away with it. Now, fraud is illegal. There's no crime season could be whatever you want it to be, but fraud is illegal. Okay. It's always been illegal. So that came out that they were insider trading and blah, 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 blah. I don't really care because there's insider trading and there's fraudulent behavior that happens in every single industry. It's not specific to crypto. It's just not. Okay. It's sad. It's upsetting. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Really, 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 really ridiculous. But that's kind of the break-in story that's happening all over X. I don't really care. I don't care. I don't. Next one, the docket over here. Michael Slegg from the CFTC. Our exchanges, actually, I'm just going to read you all the prompt. Today's like a weird day. Let's go ahead and let me read this. He says exchanges are the agency's first defense against insider trading and prediction markets. Exchanges are expected to follow oversight rules as self-regulated organizations. And he's 100% right. Why is he right? Because they're supposed to be regulated. There's things they can and they can't do. And if people are going to break the law, they're going to break the law and they're going to commit fraud and they're going to get in trouble. They need to stop doing that. So this is why we have laws and regulations, but fraud has always been illegal. Now, as far as the crypto markets go, while everybody was panicking and selling and dumping and crying and all the things that were happening, where is it? Over here, according to Cointelegraph, Google searches for buy Bitcoin surged to their highest level in 5 years. Cool, great. I'm glad people want to get into Bitcoin. And according to Eric B., $500 million was pushed into Bitcoin ETFs. He said it was the biggest day in a while, 750 million over the past 2 days. And it's funny because everybody's like, Bitcoin is dead. It's dead. It's not dead. Not dead. It's not dead. Year to date is still now under 2 billion in outflows. Unclear if this is legit start to rebound or dead cat bounce. We'll see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts over here. But moral of the story is Bitcoin is not, oops, you guys couldn't see, sorry. Bitcoin's not going to zero. It's not going to zero. It's not going away. What we're going to see happen is it's going to be the same exact as thing that had happened. But I can't even talk today. My power is so low, and my nose is stuffy. My kid has like a little bit of a cough and like a stuffy nose, and she had a friend over yesterday. Everybody's getting sick, and I'm just like, baby, just leave baby. Everybody's getting sick. Anyways, what was I gonna say next? Oh, I'm tired. That's what I'm saying. So is this the bottom? Is this? Are we gonna restart thing? What the hell is power? So many random things that just come across all the time. So many random things. Anyways, now I don't know what power is. I'm happy whoever's making money. You guys have fun. But as far as Bitcoin goes, are we gonna actually bounce? Was there a 10 a.m. slam today? Like, what's the actual deal? Is the manipulation over? No, manipulation's not over. We're always going to have manipulation in markets. It's just how it works over here, okay? It's just the name of the game, man. But right now, we're still trading underneath the trend line right here. Pretty simple thing to see. And we would actually need to kind of break out. And we're trading on the daily. We're underneath the EMA 200. On the weekly, we're like teetering on it. Like the market doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. When we zoom out, though, we've got resistance here at about 68,000. And it's kind of like we're in this little range that we have to break out or break down. So I'm still thinking more downward action. I don't think we're ready to move yet. I think that if I'm paying attention to fractal-based technical analysis, which, that's not always accurate. But if we look at 4-year cycles, we do need to trade under the EMA 200 for a while. If that happens, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Number's going to go back up anyways. It's just going to take time. And as far as Ethereum goes, Ethereum is green on the weekly, which is crazy, despite Vitalik selling. Oh my God, such like a drama about it. Who cares if he's selling? If he can sell whenever he wants. Should he do it OTC? Probably. Is he going to do it? I don't know. But he announced that he was doing it. He doesn't have to. He's not Ripple. Ripple has to announce that they're escrowing and selling a certain amount of XRP and doing XYZ. They have to. He doesn't, but he did. So that's good. But anyways, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our channel partners over here at iTrust Today, because they just had a brand new announcement. Layer Zero, ZRO, and their partners. Shout out to iTrustCapital for partnering with the O Show, everything crypto every single day. We've got a link down below. If you sign up and you start using iTrust, you get $100. Who doesn't want $100? That's like a couple of Blaha Blastings at Chili's. But you can buy, sell, and custody 90 plus cryptos, precious metals, 24/7 with tax advantage IRAs, non-IRA accounts, staking, and yeah. So anyways, they just listed Layer Zero. And that's something that's sexy, exciting to you. Fine, fantastic. If not, that's your business, okay? But anyways, there's different tax advantage things and all kinds of stuff that's going on. So if you want to check it out, great. That's fine. If not, whatever. But again, we take advantage of tax advantage things for crypto and Bitcoin. Why? Because why not? Because why not? Why wouldn't you? Pay less in taxes, keep your stuff. But anyway, shout out to iTrustCapital for being a partner of the O Show. Also, too, they've got a treasury solution over here. It's a solution built to help businesses, trusts, and nonprofits securely diversify their balance sheets with crypto. And I think that's super, super cool. As always, Bitcoin is awesome. I think it's great. So do what you want to do with that. Now, let's talk a little bit about Ripple and AI. This one's a big one. So Monica Long of Ripple says, excited to see T54 building a trust layer for the agent, I can never pronounce this, agentic economy. As autonomous agents begin managing and transacting with real capital, trust infrastructure becomes foundational piece, blah, 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 blah. So what does this have to do with Ripple? What is Ripple doing? Remember, Ripple is focusing on more integrations right now, which is absolutely great for their ecosystem and for what they're doing. I told you guys AI and DeFi is going to go together very, very well with the microtransactions, and it's important to pay attention and to figure out what's happening because it's a hot mess. So anyways, the firm announced a $5 million seed round to create a trust layer for the agentic economy. Funding led by Anagram, PL Capital, Franklin Templeton. They also got a strategic investment from Ripple. And she emphasized the need for trust infrastructure as AI agents handle real capital. And again, the way that this is going to happen, and we're going to see this happening, is with micro payments. And I told you guys that we're going to have all these little ecosystems that are all these different ecosystems for different cryptos that are able to do different types of microtransactions. And you're going to be able to build and like all kinds of stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's still a little bit over my head, and I'm still about AI. It's like you love it, you hate it. I want to throw my phones. Anyways, next on the docket for today, a new Ethereum Zurich Anthropic paper claims automated LLM pipelines can unmask automated users. So this was put out. It was community noted. I posted about it, but I don't think that this is too far from happening. Okay. So basically, anonymous internet identity can now be unmasked for $1, but with access to Claude or ChatGPT. So it says that this is not like this was a small thing and it's not 100% accurate, but it is coming. I think it's going to be very easy for that to happen. And this is my issue. Like these are the types of problems I have with AI. I think AI we're not stopping. I've got cold now. We're not stopping anytime soon. Okay, so you have to figure out how to use this stuff and how to protect yourself. But again, like this is freaking scary. Like I don't want people knowing my private stuff. And I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm going to tell you right now. If you try to dox me, you try to come to my house, you try to do anything that puts my kid in danger, it will be the last thing you do. Did you guys watch Yellowstone? When like that thing happened with Beth, like they came and she was like screaming and yelling and like fighting in the back. That's that is what will happen. Very much so. Very, very, very much so. So just please keep that in mind. I'm really not the one. But anyways, that kind of was put out there, and eventually that will be the case. It's not the case yet, but I think that it will be the case. Now, this over here, this is a lot to read. So I'm just going to give you guys the titty bitties over here. Okay. What the hell's on my face? Did I eat something? No, it's just dead skin, I think. Anyways, The Ethereum Foundation will release a long-term L1 upgrade vision that will run through 2029, and it's going to go through 7 forks, targeting one every 6 months. Goals include faster finality around TPS on the layer 1, so they're going to actually work on the damn layer 1, thank goodness. It's going to focus on post-quantum security and native privacy and covers upgrades across consensus data execution layers. It's a discussion framework, not an official roadmap, and the document's going to evolve. Don't like the tech stuff, but it is what it is. So that's good. Pretty good stuff. Also, too, this is not fun stories, but I have to tell you guys. So these big dogs over here, this guy Colin from A16Z, they met with the about the crypto market structure and whatnot. And that's good, great, fine, fantastic. But this is the thing. These people, they're accredited investors. They've got more money than God. So they're not advocating properly on behalf for retail. We don't really have anybody advocating for retail. They're advocating for crypto. They're advocating for their bottom lines. No disrespect, but it is what it is. So that's why y'all need to write to your public servants and be like, we want blah, 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 blah. Because, well, I guess there's so much voter fraud, it doesn't really matter. But if they want your vote, they're going to advocate on your behalf. Now, the Democrats held a Senate meeting to discuss moving forward with the crypto market structure. A16Z, they met with Republican senators on the 25th. Basically, the focus is on advancing market structure legislation. Okay. They want to make America the leadership in crypto and AI. This is the thing. How are you going to make America the leadership in crypto and AI when you spent time attacking crypto? Okay. Crypto was created for the people, by the people. Okay. Bitcoin. That's what it was. For retail out of the 2008 housing crash. And you sat there and you attacked crypto. You pushed people overseas. And now you're trying to get everyone back. You know how long that's going to take? And you're not even giving developer protections or retail, like you're not even doing anything that's positive for retail. And then with AI is like wiping everybody out, making it very hard for people to make a living in the US because of corporate capitalism, which is ghetto. So it's like, you want all these things to happen, and that's great because it's going to pack your bottom line in your investment. But you know what? There's other people involved. It's much bigger than you. And again, this is not just to them. It's just all these entities in general. That's just my opinion, though. Don't hear what I'm a bimbo on the internet, so y'all don't need to listen to me. That's just my opinion. Now we got the OCC. They request comments on proposals to implement the Genius Act. Great, fine, fantastic. Basically, what do they want with this? It would set regulatory standards for payment stablecoin issuers under OCC supervision. It would cover certain custody activities. Framework is intended to help stablecoin industry grow in a safe, sound way. Rules related to AML, Bank Secrecy Act, public comments are open for 60 days. Go there. Why don't you guys go there and say, you know what? We're good. We want yield on stable coins. We are smart enough. We are intelligent enough. We deserve to do what we want to do with our money. So go there and tell them that. Because at this point, retail is absolutely getting reamed. Power low. I'm tired. This is a good one over here. This I like. I think it's this one that I like. All right. This is promoting the Innovation and Blockchain Development Act of 2026. Free the Samurai Wallet developers. They did nothing wrong. And leave Roman Storm alone. Leave developers alone that are not handling money, that are just creating code. If they're creating code and somebody decides to do something bad with it, go after the bad actors. That's why blockchain technology exists, because everything's transparent. You can see who's good and bad, and you can verify that on chain. Instead of mindlessly punishing people who have done nothing wrong but contribute to the positive growth of the crypto industry. Now, the bill states that Section 1960 applies to those who control customer funds, not devs who just write code. Very simple stuff, okay? Just like somebody who makes a pew-pew. It's not their fault. Kitchen knife people, those people that do that stuff. If somebody decides to do something bad with it, it's not their fault. With anything that can cause harm, it is up to the person. And this is one of the issues we have in America. There's no more accountability, and a lot of accountability left when they decided to put groups together and strip people of their cultures. Because in my culture, there was shame. You did something bad, you got shamed by your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your cousins, your entire circle, all the family, friends. You were shamed. Maybe that's why people had better standards years ago. I don't know. But there's no accountability anymore. There's really not. And even with the government wants to strip you from all your rights and play Big Brother, but are they really doing a good job at that? No. Anyways, the bill seeks to align with the Clarity Act for clear rules on crypto and development and wants to fix regulatory issues as seen in Tornado Cash or Samurai Wallet cases. Free them. Keep your promise, Mr. Trump. Now, I'm going to get into this a little bit, okay? I'm going to get into this a little bit, okay? Now, let's talk about affordability and the USA, honey. So this is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. I like Scott Bessent. He seems like a very interesting person. But basically, this is the thing with Elizabeth Warren. There's nothing I really agree with her on. Like, I agree with Bernie Sanders on a lot of the, and he's a democratic socialist, and I agree with him on the whole AI thing. But this is the thing with the housing, okay? Housing has been bad for a very, very, very long time. Very, very long time. And it's going to continue to get bad. And it's the effect. It's not just under the Biden admin. It's really been since like 2008. We really haven't healed from that. And in addition to the housing issues, like corporations are buying houses, that shouldn't happen. Like people that are not even American citizens are buying houses and properties, that shouldn't happen either. It's a big issue. It's been a big, big issue. Like the system is completely screwed up. So you can't just sit and blame one party or one entity. It's been messed up for a long time. And the way we fix it is that, use Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to come up with interest rates that make sense. Subsidize it with the government. Hell, what the hell am I paying? Where are my taxpayer dollars going to? Like, do that, please. So we need to do more of that. That's going to help with affordability. Just give everybody 2% loans for their primary residence. Stop corporations and stop investment firms from buying single family homes. If they need a building to put their people in, let them buy something and build it themselves. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on. Moral of the story is there is scammers everywhere. There are manipulation everywhere. It is what it is. It is never going away. So that's why I always encourage you to grift legally and ethically within the constraints of the law. Use AI to your advantage because it's not going anywhere. Educate yourself. Spend 10 minutes a day educating yourself. Sometimes I force myself to read a hard book because I want to expand my mind. And people need to work on that more. But anyways, that's a show for the day. Shout out to our partners over at iTrustCapital. And also shout out to our partners over at OG.com. Thank you guys so very much. And on that note, I don't know when I'm going to drop the interview with Charles. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We don't know yet. Probably tomorrow. Anyway, sending y'all love and light. I have a headache. I need to drink more water. And I'm going to have media for you at 2 p.m. PT and then a news wrap up at 6 p.m. PT. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check my other chat and see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go. All right. Sending y'all love and light. I'm out. I got